Advanced souls choose harder lives, but it can still be a good life.
Welcome to Soul Guide with Vondie Lozano, a show about past lives, life between lives, and this life.
Hey everybody, I'm Vondie Lozano and welcome to Soul Guide. So good to have you here today. And I just wanted to say, sometimes it can feel like a hard life is too much, but there are ways to make it a good life. And speaking of hard lives, I want to dedicate this episode to my dear cousin Jim, who passed away this week. So love you, Jim. Okay, and also, I love seeing you here. So thank you for joining us. And for those of you who comment or participate or ask questions, this is our last week. We're giving away our Life Between Lives hypnosis bags, our special giveaway bags to celebrate our new show. So please, we invite you to share, comment, or ask a question. So I prepared a little bit of a talk for you, just some things I wanted to make sure and share with you. Oops, I forgot to start it over. So this month is about choosing your happy place. Sometimes it doesn't feel like there's a happy place if this is a very hard life, but there can be ways to find little nuggets here and there to still make it a good life. So sometimes people say, are there advanced souls on the other side? And there are. It's hard for us to understand. There are different levels in the afterlife, but there's no hierarchy. So one of the ways we know this is from Michael Newton's research with the 8,000 or 7,000 souls that he helped access their afterlife. And you can read about this in his book, Journey of Souls. And so the lighter the color was the younger souls, and the darker colors are the more advanced souls. And I have to confess, I see a fair number of advanced souls, the blue, dark bluish purple, and they don't even know what that means most of the time. Most of the time, people haven't even read the books or haven't read that part. But when I hear that, I know what that means. So white just means a younger soul. It's no judgment, just means not as advanced as the darker color souls. When you ask them, what color are you, if somebody in your soul group held up a mirror to you? Because we ask, what color is so-and-so in your soul group? And then what color are you when they hold up a mirror to you? So no hierarchy, but there are different levels. And we come to Earth to learn lessons. So as my mediumship teacher used to say, it's not all angels and fairy dust on the other side. So we're in classrooms, we're in labs, we're making energy, we have jobs, we're doing stuff. That's real life. This is where we come to sort of fine tune our skills and put into practice the things we're learning over there. So when we come to this life, we choose a specific life to advance our soul's development. When you go to the place of life body selection, you get to see the other choices you had and which one you chose and why you chose it. And oftentimes you can actually step into the lives and see what it's like and see who you'll be working with. And people will say, I see my kids or my family that they ended up choosing. And then we bring that learning back to the other side to enhance source or the oneness or whatever you want to call that greater collective oneness, as well as sometimes people even encounter a sense of the divine. And so in our modern view, sometimes we don't understand. We think, well, how can you enhance God, what we would refer to as God? But from this understanding, you can. There's more that we can learn and bring back here that they don't have over there. Earth is a hard planet. There are other places to incarnate that aren't so hard, that don't have suffering, that are just very easy lives. So this is the graduate school program. You are the brave souls. And when there's a hard life, you're one of the bravest. And you're bringing that learning back to the other side. So some of the really big lessons are those advanced souls that are developing love and compassion. So they may choose a life with suffering or pain to develop empathy. Then there are the very brave souls. I've had a few people who their past lives were in the Holocaust, and some as children, some as adults, teenagers fighting the Nazis, teenagers, part of the resistance fighting the Nazis. I mean, just so brave, so very brave, or people struggling with really serious illness or the loss of a child. I mean, these are the very, very big lessons. And some people here today, they don't usually incarnate on Earth. They're what we call traveler souls. So they may usually incarnate on other planets where it is easier. And they often have a higher vibration and they're bringing that to us. Or some are just beings. I've had people who are council members incarnating among us. But very often, the very advanced souls feel uncomfortable here because they don't usually incarnate on Earth and they don't always fit in. They don't quite know what's off, but they come here and sometimes with a little bit of resistance, but they come here as a group usually to with a mission to raise our vibrational level. So they're sacrificing for us. So how to make that hard life a good life? First of all, identify your purpose. Access and figure out why you are here. What is your purpose? And the one way I know to do that is with your life between lives. And when you go before the wise souls, that's the biggest question. Who am I? Why am I here? Why did I choose this life? How does this life fit within the last couple of past lives that we go through? And oftentimes there's a theme where you were working on part of the puzzle in the first past life session, we find out, and then we do your immediate past life before your life between lives session. It's two things in one session, and people discover another piece of the puzzle in the immediate past life. And then when we go before your council and the life between lives part of the experience, you get to see how it all fits together. And sometimes we even visit other lives, and sometimes people are even given a little bit of information about the future. So when you know why your true purpose is, why you chose this life, when you discover that, then one of the best way I think to make this a good life is to do that, because that's where your fulfillment is going to be, by being true to what you were called here and why you chose to do this. And I'll say sometimes people bite off a little more than they can chew. And that's when they are struggling in this life, or that's one of the reasons. And I just wanted to say, oh, well, let me switch to my next slide. I want to say, don't give up. This week, and I don't think it's a coincidence, I had my first session where someone in someone's past life session, they took themselves out. They didn't stay through the whole life. And when they crossed over, they were told that they left too soon. So hang in there. You chose this life for a reason. A lot of planning goes into this life. And they were told there was more good to come, but they kind of left in the middle of the story. So it wasn't like they were berated or ridiculed or criticized, but they were just told, you left before the story ended. So don't give up, but take good care of yourself. One of the things the brave souls are often told is you need to love others as much as you love yourself. That yes, you might have come here to have a life of sacrifice or bravery or courage, but you also have to replenish yourself so you can make it through the whole story. And then I know this sounds funny, appreciate the trees, but in one of the past life sessions, or excuse me, life between life sessions that I've read about, the soul on the other side or the guide said, the trees aren't the same over here. Appreciate the trees on Earth. And I think there's a lot of things that we have here on Earth that we take for granted. And the point is to appreciate them, to embrace while we're here what is here, and then to find the nuggets of joy that we can find within this life. Some of you may have seen Lauren's session. There's a little clip for it on my website, and it's just a 2-minute trailer. There's a more lengthy version on the website. If you look on the homepage, you can find the link. But it's a beautiful life, and then at the end, it takes a turn, and all of a sudden, it's very hard. And I see some comments popping up. I love trees. So do I. I have a special connection to trees. I'll come back to that. Thank you. But in Lauren's past life, it took a turn, and I won't tell you, I won't give away because it's kind of a surprise ending. But when I asked how did she feel about that life when she reflected on it, she became teary and said just how much love there is, and that the goal was to find the joy. So even in the midst of the hard life, to find the moments, the nuggets, your people, your places, your happy place that gives you a break from the hard life. Mine is doing my dog's agility training, or it's where they go through the tubes and the tunnels and all that, or horseback riding. It's funny for me. It's something really physical because it's like the only time my brain takes a break. So, taking care of yourself, appreciating the beauty that is particular to our planet, and then finding the nuggets, the moments, the fleeting bits of joy in the midst of a very hard life. And so I wanted to look over and see what we have going on. So Melody Henderson, thank you for being here. Yes, you put a little icon of a tree. Yeah, when we moved into our home, we've been in Ventura a few years now. We had several full-grown trees, and we've lost about half of them for various reasons. And yeah, my husband knows it's heartbreaking for me each time because I have an extreme attachment to trees. They're very grounding. I know some of I would go out and even like put my hand on them. If you've ever been to Muir Woods, that's a very spiritual place up in Northern California. And I love trees from, I think you say it, Moni. So that was what I wanted to share with you. I know it's been kind of quick. So I wanted to open up and see if we do have any questions. I know I went through that really quickly, but I felt like I just wanted to give a little bit of encouragement to those of you who are here, which tells me you may be feeling like it's a little bit of a hard life too. And sometimes, like I said, we can feel like, what was I thinking? In fact, I'll just kind of wrap up with this. My mom, who I talk about from time to time, she had a really difficult life, and she was disabled as a child and then spent the rest of her life dealing with that. And when I learned about Michael Newton, it gave us a way to talk about the afterlife and these kinds of things. And I used to say to her, I don't know what you were thinking. And she would say, me either, because it was a difficult life. And I would say, you need to choose an easy one next time. And it was hard enough that she said, do I have to come back? And no, we don't have to come back. But we continue to come back usually until we become advanced enough that we no longer incarnate. And then maybe we're a guide to help some new soul adjust to this life. So we usually come back, but sometimes we know it's going to be a rough time. So I'm not seeing any new questions. I'm just seeing a couple of comments, but thank you. I see that we do have people watching. So I just want to give you lots of love and lots of encouragement, and know that you are the brave souls. You chose this to develop qualities in yourself as a soul, and then also to bring those learnings, those lessons back to the other side. So you really choose these for all of us. And sometimes people choose a really difficult lesson that's like a community lesson, like we're all learning something together. So we thank you for that. So I'm not seeing any more questions, though I am seeing more people tune in. You can watch the rest if you're tuning in late. This will be in the Facebook group and the page and YouTube, and we're even on a podcast now. Oh, and Teresa, since I'm living with the knowledge of Newton's work, my challenge makes so much more sense. Exactly. To me, it answers all the questions, so we don't feel so victimized. We can know that we're tough souls, and that's why we chose this. So I'm not seeing any new questions. I'm going to wrap up a little bit, but if I see anything else, I will respond. So if you would be interested in learning about your life purpose, you're more than welcome to book a discovery call on my website, lifebetweenliveshypnosis.com. We're putting it up for you now, and it's also in the comments section. And thank you. My husband, Henry, is filling in for my assistant this month. She got a new fancy job. She's doing PR for El Pollo Loco and Skechers. So thank you, honey. He's on his lunch break helping us out. So yes, if you would like to book a discovery call, I would love to chat with you. And I also wanted to let you know next week, Molly, one of my clients whose session we did last week, was a brave soul. She'll be coming on next week, and they were encouraging her to understand how adventure and family fit together in her lives and how to combine those in this life. So it'll be really fun to hear her, and we'll hopefully have a little bit of excerpts from her session like we did in Jonathan's session. So I'm just going to say once more, for those of you who came on a little late, in case you didn't hear, for those who comment or ask questions, we're offering our Life Between Lives Hypnosis bag as a special giveaway to celebrate our beginnings and our startup of our show for these first couple months. So today is our last day. So Molly, Moni, Melody, and Teresa, be sure to send your address to support@lifebetweenliveshypnosis.com, and then we'll get that out to you. There you go. All right. So I think that's it. I'm glancing at my notes, which I have taped above my computer. So yeah, we have a fair number of people tuning in, but I think everybody's just reflecting. So again, dedicating this to my dear cousin Jim, who passed away last weekend, and to all of you, those of you with the hard lives and the hard challenges. We love you, we thank you, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. God bless.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow. And join us next week for another episode of Soul Guide.